So this topic is on the form controls and activex controls, right? As an advanced Excel user, you must know these form controls and the activex controls. The reason is they are used in dashboards and they give more weightage to your dashboards. They they really make your dashboards beautiful. Not just beautiful, but also helps you to do lot of amazing things. Now, what is exactly the form controls and the activex controls? Now, generally, uh, in VBA also you have the forms, which we will do when the right time come, right? So here also, you can go and insert the forms, but these are the forms which do not require programming. They are here in the front end, which is under the developer tab, insert, form control, activex control. Now, since we are starting a VBA, so I'm not sure if you know this option. Considering you as a beginner, this developer tab generally remain off in the Excel, deactivated. It doesn't come automatically. So if you don't have a developer tab, obviously you will not be able to use this form control, activex controls. So how to get the developer tab? First of all, you go to the file option in this, and when you click on the file option, customize ribbon, any version, Excel 2010 or higher version, this is how you go and select this developer tab, right? This one. In case if you're using 2007, then I guess you can Google it though exactly, but I think somewhere on the top you have an option called popular in 2007, and when you click on that, here there is a option which says show developer tab. So you need to just check mark that, and that's it, right? So when you do that, your developer tab comes. Now I go and first of all talk about the form control, and then I'm going to talk about the activex control. Basically both look almost same, nothing the difference, but in terms of how you're going to use them, okay, like from the perspective of the designing, they are different, quite different actually. Okay, now first of all I talk about this. Let's say this is the combo box I talk about. You just need to click there, and when you click there, you can draw them like this. Can you see that? This is your combo box, right? So if I click here, you can display something here in the drop down. This is called the combo box. So first of all, I just go and write here combo box. Then you go and insert checkbox. Click on this checkbox. This is how checkbox looks like. This is how it is, right? Okay. What else we have? Spin button. You see that spin button, right? Amazing. When you click here, something should happen. Obviously we will be talking about that, how to use them. You have the option button. You have the one of my favorite list box. See this? This is a list box. If I click here, you can scroll down the things, and then you have the option. There are so many things, right? Basically these are the mostly used form controls. Okay, so let us quickly start. Let us not waste the time. And one of the important thing I'm going to tell you today is, which will absolutely thrill you, there is a option called the scroll bar. You can also create the scroll bar, guys, like the scroll bar you have in Excel. Okay, so this is your scroll bar. You can see here. this one, like the one you have created here, what it will do and how you're going to use it, let's talk about that. If you look at this scroll bar, you see that this is, look at this can be scrolled, so we can give the movement to the data. This is pretty awesome thing. Okay, not just like that, I mean you can also go and change the direction. Okay, you can go and create that horizontal as well, like this. See this. So let's go and talk about it. Now the first thing which I want to talk about is I'll start with the combo box and the list box. Okay, so let's go and talk about the combo box and the list box. Now I'm going to give you a very short examples on this, right, to give you the idea, and then rest you can further go and study from the YouTube also, from my channel. I mean you can see more examples of course, but the fundamentally we will make sure that today we should understand how to write these things, right? So guys, now most of the time you see that whenever I create some data, I generally used to create the drop downs, data validation. Now instead of the data validation, you can create these combo box or list boxes as well. Now the first thing which we want to do is, so let's say you want to you have a data here. Data can be on other sheet as well, that's not the problem. So let's say I have a data called country. Okay, country or maybe something else, whatever you want to write. Let's say I have here the company. Okay, and then in the company I have employees, then you have ranking, and then you have the profit. This is how it is. So let's say this is the company's detail. Let's go and fill that. So I have here employees. I'm going to fill it. So we have the rank, we have the profit, and one more thing I want to put here, which is let's say year. So let's say we have year 1996, then 1997, and then 2005. Okay, when I did my graduation. Now I go and put the rank. So we have a ranking here. Okay, then we have a profit. So let's say we have a profit. And so on, right? So I just go and put this in the dollar. Go to this option and put this in the dollar or rupees, whatever you want to do. Okay, so let's say we go and put this in the dollar, maybe rupees, fine. Okay, now you have got this data. Now I want to do one thing. As usual, we would like to go and create here a combo box which can give us all the companies, and of course if you want to make a year, that is also cool option. So let's quickly go and do that. So I know my combo box is going to come, include the Aon, Dell. I'm just writing two companies, so maybe somewhere here or here, just write the company names. Okay, or maybe in any other sheet. And same way, since my years are unique, I'm not really going to use the years here. Okay, I just keep this data source in use. But if you know, because who knows, maybe Dell company can also have a year 1996, we never know, for example. Then obviously my job is first to make them unique. So let's go and put these years here, and let's go and just display somewhere here. Now let's go to the insert developer tab. Let's go to the insert. Let's click on the combo box. When you click on the combo box, you can draw that combo box here. So I'm just going to draw that combo box here. So I go and draw it here, okay, like this, right? So we have the combo box. You can reduce the size, height as per your convenience, in whatever look you want. I mean, you can resize it. Now whenever you click here, you see that this is how it works. This is how it works. Now suppose if I have to resize it again, how I will do it? Right click. Okay, so when you do the right click on combo, form control to resize or move, remember, right? So if I can right click, I can move it, because right click takes me to the selection part, so you can move it as well. For example, let's keep it here. So I'm gonna keep it here, maybe somewhere here, right? And this is how it is, and I just go and maybe reduce the width, height, whatever. Okay, now fine. Now how we are going to show these companies and the year? So I think we need two. So one more we can create. Let me go back here. Better you copy and paste this, so that we shouldn't having the problem of, you know, the height and the width. So you can copy this and you can paste it again here. So let's go and do the paste. We have got it. Now this is how it is. I prefer writing them next to next. Okay, one for the year, one for the company. Remove the grid lines. That's how much better. Okay, remember this data is on the different sheet. It's not here, because I generally, when I create the dashboard, or people when they create the dashboard, I don't create now dashboard, obviously it has been ages, but the idea is when you create the dashboards, generally you keep the data in the different sheet. That's a good thing. I made it as well, right? That I want to insert the shapes, just to tell that people that, you know, this is my combo box with the company detail, this is my combo box with the year, right? I can use these arrows. Somehow I don't like these arrows, right? But you can use, I mean, just in case if you think that they are better. For example, you can go and create this, you can put that here, okay, like this. Okay, you can go, or maybe you can do one thing, you can just go and move it here, and then do one thing, just change the rotation of this, and this is how you can change the rotation, right? And here just keep it little small, like this, and then maybe here you can go and put some, you know, the information, or maybe in the arrow itself you can write it that this is for the company. Okay, I still go and reduce the width of it like this. And now once I'm sure that this is how it is, you can select that you want to give them maybe a different color. You can choose the colors from here. These colors, you'll get a lot of colors from here. Very nice, beautiful colors here. Maybe I prefer let's say, you know, maybe black one, let's say, or maybe this one. Okay, I go and use this one, this arrow, and now here we can further go and create one more shape which can let us know that what is it for. Okay, but I prefer you're using here, I mean, you can write here company, choose the company. Okay, choose company. I'm just giving the idea. I'm not here to actually decorate the entire this dashboard, because every individual has its own way of, you know, own preferences and own sort of that also depends. Now if the dashboard has a lot of things, then maybe you want to save the space, so maybe you don't use them like this, but I'm just telling you, right? So we can go and insert these. I don't use them, as I said. I prefer uploading the images from the Google. You can just go and type in there arrows, but now Microsoft even have given this icon option if you're using 2016. I guess it's available in 2013 also. Go and check that, right? So these are the very beautiful icons, and you can see food and drinks, location, vehicle, celebration. So basically, if I'm trying to create some dashboard, maybe you can go and, you know, pick up some analytics image. So in the analytics image, you know, this is how your this is, I mean, related to your analytics images are coming. If it is a sort of HR dashboard, maybe you can go and use these, you know, sort of things. If it is a performance dashboard, then still I think you can go and use this. So I can go and insert this icon from here. So I have the icon here. I can put it somewhere here, you know, in my that dashboard like this, right? So we can go and put it like this. So this is my dashboard, right? And obviously these things will not be coming here, right? They're going to be hidden hidden or on the different sheet. Similarly, you can go and put some more icons. I saw one more icon which is a graph, and that looks much better. I can again go to the, in this analytics, I can use this, I can use this, right? So I mean, it depends what you want to do, right? So maybe I can go and let's say this one is also nice, right? The dashboard telling you to hit on the bullseye. So but maybe I can go and use this as well, right? If you have a graph, you must use this. I think that's much better option. But right now I'm not here to show the graphs, so we can go and create that in this way. Or maybe why not, let's go and do the graphs, because we know now how to make the graphs. So I go again and insert icon, and in the icons I go and pick up again the same one. So I go and use this one, right? Insert it. So that's how it is. We can sort of create these images. Let me just keep them simple. I mean, little small, right? And we go and create it. I go and just put it. You can also use the left and the right arrow. And now I go and click on this, and I go and put it here, and this image maybe can come here like this. Okay, so this is how, I mean, we can kind of make this graph. Okay, so if you want to change the color, I guess you can change the color from here. Look at this. Okay, that's your choice. Maybe let's say I go and prefer this one, right? And this is my, obviously, the arrow, and this company I have to move it somewhere, so to align it properly, so I just cut this and I just delete this. This was just for your information. Better I go and paste it here like this. Let me wrap text it, margin center. That's how it looks now. Let's go and reduce the width of it, and let me go and, you know, these things take time, obviously, because you have to put them in the proper order. So that's how it is. And then I try to make the same width, because I'm going to give it a color. So I go and give it, let's say, this black and maybe this color. Okay, and just merging these. Okay, cells and choose ear. So here we have the ear, and let's go and put the same thing. So this is how, I mean, you know, you can go and create sort of these things. Okay, I've created this, put all these things. Let me cut and paste this here. Now that's how your dashboard looks like. Okay, better, maybe you can do one thing. You can you know, kind of you can create here, I mean, some bordering type. You can give it a bordering as well. For example, I can go to the developer tab, go to the insert, and this is my group box. Okay, let me see that if I can do that. So if I just go and draw this group box here, yeah, that's all, right? This is my group box, and in this you just double click here. This is just to decorate the things. Okay, so I go and I can write here, this is my, let's say, agent performance dashboard or the company dashboard, right? So we can write here performance company company performance dashboard, right? That's how it is. So we can go and maybe just resize these images. Okay, that's what it looks like. I go and just reduce the, so I mean this is something uh, comes with the practice. You can further, I'm not saying this is really very good dashboard, but just trying to tell you how people actually, you know, start making the dashboards. So that's how we can create this. Okay, so this is I have just added this to give it a good look. Now the main thing comes, let's quickly go and insert this the companies here. Okay, so I have Aon Dell here. Now what I do is let's say I go and add one more company, maybe ABC for example, and just go and create the ABC as well. So now guys, what we will do is I will go and right click here. Okay, right click here. Now when you right click here, what you need to do, right click and go to the form controls. When you go to the form controls, you on this option, on the control option, you find this input range. Let me take the snapshot of it. Okay, so I'm going to put this snapshot, I'm going to put this snapshot here, maybe here. Okay, remember this is coming after clicking the right click and then going to the form controls. Okay, so right click and go to form controls. This, we are not talking about the activex controls, we are talking about the form controls, remember, because in the activex control the procedure is different. So I go and repeat that, right click and I go to the form control. This is the one. Now here you don't have to worry about all these things, don't even look at it. What you need to do is simply go to the control, input range, what you want to give the input range. So I go and select this cell, this is my range. Okay, and I keep this A14 to A16. Maybe you can create one more blank, let's say. Now cell link, which cell you want to link it. Now let's say I'm going to link that with maybe this button, this cell. Okay, C14, please remember that. Drop down lines, how many drop down lines you want to insert there at a time? Well, you can create 8, you can create 4, 5. That's let's leave this as, you know, as of now we don't need, because I have got only 3 companies, so they will come in the 8 drop down lines. Okay, so just keep this option as it is, click OK. Now when I click here, you can see here I have started getting my Aon. The moment I select Aon, this cell becomes 1. The moment I select Dell, this cell becomes 2. The moment I select this ABC, this cell actually becomes 3 automatically, right? Because you have linked this control with this cell. Now why I'm doing that? Well, they can be for multiple uses of it. I mean, let's go into that, let's check that how we can do that. So right now I have used this 3. Okay, and then I similarly I can go here, I can right click here. Let us go to the form control. Again, in the input range, what I need is, I need this range, right? And which cell I want to link? I want to link this cell, for example C15. Click OK, and now we go and click on this. So you have the ABC, you have the 1997, you have got, you know, getting lot of these I mean options here now, right? You can make this kind of a dashboard, and obviously somewhere here then the information can come using these 1 2 3 4. Okay, now how it is going to come, this is what I'm going to show you. Now here I just go and create a dashboard, obviously. So first thing, what you need, if I select the company and the year, I want to check the total number of employees. Okay, so you just go and write here total number of employees. Let's say this is the active count, right? So maybe you can write there the active count, I don't know, rank and the profit. So these are the three things we need it here. Okay, so I go and make them bold, I go and change their font, I'm going to use them maybe Arial Black. So I go and click on the font called Arial Black and I reduce the size maybe, let's say, by 9. Okay, once this is done, I want to show you know, here or maybe here, wherever. Let's go and show that here. So I go and wrap this text. I'm going to join these two texts and I'm just going to put some border here like this. And now let me go and join them, not the wrap text, sorry, merge and center. Okay, so this is your cell now, and you can double click on the form painter to give the same formatting. Click here, done. Now press escape and they are gone. Okay, so this is how the dashboard looks like. I go and give it a bordering. I told you can go to the more borders. You can create your own borders as well. I generally prefer this line, which is this thin line, okay, in the inner parts of this. So this is how you can create. Would you like to create some different color? Yes, maybe if you're interested in different color, you can choose the color and now you can click here, right? But on the outer side, I would like to go and create the thick borders like this. Okay, maybe here down on the upper side and the downside, you know, you can create these sort of things. Well, it depends, right, what sort of border you want to give. Now the border comes like this, and I basically have to again merge them. So let me just go and merge and center them. Let me merge and center it like this. I think now much better. Let's go and create the form, this one. So we should have first given the bordering. Okay, now this is how it is, and that's how it looks like now. So it's not coming the way I want. Let me just go and merge and center this as well. Let me go and merge this as well, right? So go and merge this as well. Okay, now it is coming. What I do is I select this particular part first and I go and go in the more border. I think this color is I'm not liking this color. Maybe I can choose this, and now I can go and create this one, right? So this is the one. Just simply paintbrush it, use it here, use it here. Okay, that's how it is. I guess no, still it is not working. Let me just click here again. This line, I need it, this and this one. Okay, that's how it is. Okay, now we would like to go and write the things here. So let's go and check that out. So total number of employees basis your this company and this year. How you're going to get it? I know you can use the VLOOKUP. We have done this many times, right? But how you're going to use the VLOOKUP, this is also interesting. Now you see, if I have here ABC, right? Because if you remember in the data validation, this is how we used to create. In the data validation, we used to go and click on the list and we used to create on here Aeon, and then we used to create here Dell, and then, you know, let's say ABC, right? And because it was a data validation, so whatever value user picks from here, we directly, you know, used to go and use that value. But in this case, how you're going to use it, because this is not a cell, because in the VLOOKUP you can go and use this value, you know, this value F17, but now data validation is not there. It's something else now. Let me just go and clear this. It's a combo box. It's a control. You can't use this in this way. So you have to make a proper planning. How you gonna do the proper planning? Well, what you have to do is you have to make sure that when you have here one, it should be ABC, or it should be whatever the company, right? Like this is Aeon, so obviously because Aeon comes in the first number, so I can go and write here if function, and I can say that if this value is going to be 1, then I want Aeon, right? This is how we can bring the function. And if the same value is going to be, if C14 is going to be 2, then you need another company, which is Dell, isn't it? Simple, right? And if it is going to be, if C14 is going to be 3, then you go and write here ABC. Else what? Else nothing, space. So you have your function, you got the company. Okay, if I go and select the Dell, you can see that it's coming accordingly. Okay, and if I select nothing, this goes blank. Perfect. This is working then, right? Okay, so what is the next thing I would do? Let me go and increase the width of this, align them in the give them the same size. Okay, so we have this company simple. By using the formula, we got the del here. Same way here, you can go and create this, 1996, 1997. Now, I'm going to tell you one function which I haven't yet spoken of. I can do the same job using the if. I can go and write here all the if. How many if? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 if, right? So I can keep on going here, and I can say that if this is 1, then year should be 1996 and then 1997 and so on. But instead of the if, you can further go and do one more thing. What is it? Now this is your if function. I don't need this. I just go and cut this. Just for your information, I'm not deleting this. Okay, remember that what we have done. I'm just putting that formula here, maybe here, just for your information. Okay, and yeah. Now next time in these sort of situations, when you have a drop down, big drop down, use the choose function. Choose and then the index number. Okay, so finally, so we are going to create the dashboard. So now choose function is what? See this. Now what you do is you give the index number. Okay, so I say that my index number, okay, my index number, if it is going to be 1, okay, if it is going to be 1, then what is going to be in the value 1 parameter? So I say in the value parameter it has to be aeon. Okay, and then in the value 2 it has to be del, and then ABC. Close it. You have the same output. Okay, now I go and select this aeon, and then okay, one thing, sorry, what I did is instead of this one, I should be linking this cell C14. Okay, now let me go and select the del. There we go. You can see that what is happening. I explain it again. Basically, choose is a function which we can use, like if functions, right? But here you don't have to write the condition again and again. You simply give the index number. So this always comes by default as 1, which means whatever you write here in the value 1, that will be considered as index number 1. This is 2, this is 3. So you can pretty well imagine if I have to create the years, now how easy it is for me. I just go and use this choose C15. So C15 means if it is going to be 1, then what the value you're going to write in the value 1, that will be picked. So I just go and quickly write 1996, 1997, 1998, 1999 and 2000, right, automatically. So you can add as many values as you want, right? Whenever the choose function will have an answer called 1, index number, I mean 1, this will be picked, and then this will be picked, then this will be picked. So index number, 1 index, 2 index, 3 index, 4 index, 5 index. So I just go and press enter. Now you have got your company and the year. Now you know what you have to do, right? Obviously now I have to pick up this company with this year, so I can use the index function. I can use the VLOOKUP function also, right? Because my year is here and my company is here. So if you want to use the VLOOKUP, you have to first insert a blank row, blank column, and you have to join aeon and the the year part. But I'm not going to do that. Let me keep this data as it is. Let's go and use the index. Now further in the index, guys, we have created name managers now so many times, right? Especially the last 2-3 sessions, we had used them in so many different ways. Now why don't we just go and this time also, just for our ease, just create the name manager. So I go here and I just write here my data, or maybe company data, whatever, right? Press enter. Let's go and check that. You can go and click on this. It selects that the range is created. The other shortcut key is Other way is Control F3 or go to the name manager. Make sure you click here and see that if it is selecting or not. So the data is getting selected, that means your name manager is created. Now why I'm doing it, so that I can actually simply go and say that index, you have to go to the my data. Okay, you know my data, the moment I write the my data, it selects the entire table, guys. What is the row number now? What you need the company total number of employees for the year 1999. So that means, first of all, I have to find the row number of this company and the year, because I cannot go and find out the company, just company, because ABC is coming so many times here. It may come 4 times. So but the ABC with the year is going to be unique. So what you will do is, here in this, I just go and create some space here. Now let's just not change this dashboard. I go here in this cell and I just go and concatenate this and this. We have done this before also. I go and drag this. Make sure you should not show this to your user. Okay, hide it. Now from here I'm getting the unique combinations. So now the next time when I go and create the index, so what I will do, I will write here first of all my data, and in my data I want the row number of ABC and 1999. This one. You can use the match. You can see that match. Please pick up this and this. Okay, and then go in this table. This will give you the row number, guys, right? So you will have the row number, which is in our case it is going to be ABC 99. So you will have the row number which is going to be 1, 2. Now one thing I want to tell you, because you're starting your index from this range which includes the header, I will go and start it from here, so that my match should give the my match should also have the same starting point. And like the index starts from here, from this row, so match should also start from this row, otherwise there will be a clash, which we had seen before. So I am going to pick up this match P1 to P9, and then we have this ABC 1999 coming. ABC 99, where is it? ABC 99. I think I still need to drag this further. Just a second. I go and drag this up to this point. Yes. Okay, now let's go and use the index again. My data match. I want to look up my company and this combination, year combination in this range. So starting from here, this should return me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So the row number 10 would come. So you're telling the index to go in this table, and to go in the row number 9, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is the row number which is going to come, right? Now once you have this row number coming, 10 actually, sorry, because I didn't count this, right? So anyways, let's go and check that. But I'm just trying to tell you, you have the now row number of this ABC 1999. It should pick up this ABC 1999, but then you need the column number as well. So for the column number, I can use the further match. If I have to shuffle these headers, then I can go and use the match, and I can say check this total number of employees in this column. But make sure then you should have the same spellings here, because otherwise match will not be able to work. So instead of that, I will just use the constant. I need the employee. So in this table, the column number is 2. So I just go and press enter. Are we getting the correct answer? Yes, we're getting the correct answer. Good. Now the next thing which I want to do is, my data is already, it's a name manager. You don't have to freeze it. I go and freeze the D14 and 15, right? And I go and freeze this P11 to P1 to P11. So I go and copy this and paste it. To get the rank, I will go and prefer using 3 here, and to get the profit, I go and prefer using the 4. We did this many times. So this is how my dashboard is. Let me save the file. However, in terms of the functioning, I think it's quite simple, but it doesn't look so. Your user will definitely drool over it, your manager will drool over it, they will definitely like this, because this looks like a kind of, you know, really very strong dashboard, right? But you know, in the background you're just doing nothing actually, you're just using some couple of functions and that's it, right? So make sure you go and use the if error as well. So if I have del and 2000, do you have the del 2000? It's not there, so definitely you want to use the if error here. If error, so that's how you can use these boxes, these combo buttons. My purpose is not to tell you this thing, because this we have seen how to use VLOOKUP or, you know, the index. I just wanted to make you familiar with this, how they are, you know, programmed without VB. I mean, how you actually can use their form controls, and in the form control you can go and, you know, link that. Now, so the same thing can be done using the list box. So I go and copy this and I paste this data here. Now see this, what I'm going to do now. I go this time and use the list box. Let's go to the, remove the grid lines. Let's go to the developer tab quickly. Let's go to the insert. This time I want to use the form controls, which is my list box. So where we have the list box, this is my list box. So let's say I want to use the list box now, guys. Okay, so I use the list box here, paste it here. That's how the list box comes. Now what I'm going to do is, in my list box, in this list box, what happens to the sheet? I have to close this workbook and reopen it, you know, but that's okay. Somehow it is pasting the image. Might have captured that in the clipboard. Okay, no problem. But this is my combo box, okay, and that's my list box. You can put them in the way you want. I mean, you can put them, you can put this list box maybe next to here, you know, that's all up to you. I prefer creating this over here, and let's go and move this here like this, and let's go and right click here and move this little here. So finally you have this here. Now we already know how to program this. Right click here, form controls, go to the control, give the input range. In the input range I go and give this one, and the cell link, which cell you want to link, right? So you can further go and link that cell. Now since so I can go and use this cell as well, right? That's perfectly fine. I go and click OK. Now when I select Aeon, you see that Aeon, the 1 is coming, then the del is coming, but we have to use this, so I go and use the choose function here, okay, because 1 and 2 are not going to help me actually, so I can go and use this this one, okay. Now you instead of using the choose, let's go and maybe try to use something else. Let's go and see that, but for the time being I first program the list box as well. I go and go to the form control, same, nothing changes. Go to the input range, select this input range. I have to link this, so I can go and link this with the A3, okay. Now you can see here you have single, multi, extend, right? By default it is single. I click OK. I show you this is how the list box looks like. Whenever you select anything, the number index comes here. So indexing actually is given to us only for this purpose, that basis these 1 2 3 4 we can put some formula and we can use these values, right? You don't have to do anything. So you have 196, 197, all the stuff is coming here, okay. Now just in case if you have to use 2 years, for example, right now if I have to use 1996 and 1997, I cannot do that. It's not allowed because it's a single click. So you can go back and go to the form control and you can use this multi. If you use the multi, what will happen, when I click here and when I click here, when I click here, you know, all the numbers are selected. This is how. So if I have to select all the years, I can go one by one and I can click on them. For example, this is your situation. Now I click here, then I click here, then I click here, then I click here, but sometimes user gets irritated because if he has a long list to select, this is not the good option. You go to the form control and now you make sure this should be extend. So now what you do, you click here and now you press shift. So when I press shift key and I click here, this is how it is going to come. So now I have all the years getting selected using the shift key. So let me repeat that. What we did, we went to the form control and this is how it should come: single, multi, extend. Let me just go and paste it here. Okay, generally we keep it always single, guys, because we are not a programmers, so we really can't manipulate the thing so well, right? But this is the option. I'm not going to do this, the multi, because my right now the purpose is to make it single. So I keep this as single. Okay, now you have here 1 and you have here 2, right? So if I select my Aeon, let's say this is 1 and this is 1996, then if I select this, this is going to be 1 and this is going to be 2. Okay, so using this technique also you can go and create the same stuff, this one, right? You can use this choose function here and you can get these values populated here. I wanted to tell you something else, I mean using the offset, but let's talk about that after this. Right now I say choose one and then the companies all would come. Okay, so Aeon and then go and write everything. So let's say you have here Aeon and now here also you will use the choose function, so you get here 1997 because right now user has selected 1997. So again then you have to do the same job. You can go and use the functions in this way. That's how it is. So list box works the same way. As you can see, we are not doing anything different for the list box. You're displaying the items same in the same way. You go to the form control, you go to the input range, you give the input range, you link the cell, and then how to get that value the user has selected. This is where you go and use the choose functions, right? So let me quickly go and use the choose function. Select this and then 1996, 1997, 1998, 1999, 2000, right? Simple. Press enter. You got the 1998. If you select 2000, you got the 2000. You select 1997. So that's how it is. And finally, then you go and use these all values. Let me go and write here as well, so that you can practice it. Aeon, Dell, and then whatever, ABC, let's say. Go and do that. We got it. So when I select ABC, this will be ABC. Why? Because ABC index is 3. So form control actually does this sort of job for us. Do you have any doubts? Okay, let's go and talk about the option buttons. Now before we go for that, let's talk about the offset. And now let's talk about the offset. For the offset function, guys, I'm going to show you something very exciting. Now I go here and create year, and then year have 1919, let's say 8. Like for in this case, we are going to create, we are going to use the offset, because offset is going to be, offset will suit here for this kind of a requirement. Okay, so keep your mind always open for everything. So I create these values here, year, and I go and write here my performance, and I got one more point. Let's go and see that calls offered, calls taken, how many calls came, how many calls were answered, okay, and what was the average time to answer the call. So we can write here AST. This is a, so I have the performance, I have the calls offered. I want to show you something, and then I have the calls answered. I have the AST. this is your the headers. Okay, let's say you have these headers here, and data is obviously on the different sheet maybe. So now what I want to do is I want to create a scroll bar here. Okay, that so let's say I further go and so let's make this as 19 maybe 47, and let's go and add this. So same way I go and add this to 3. Calls offered, let's say 1000 calls offered, answered let's say 678, aged is let's say 200 seconds. Just you need to show the graph performance wise as well as the numbers coming here. Okay, for this here, performance here, but in a different way. So what we're gonna do is, first of all, decide how many rows you want. I mean, I'm going to show the entire data in just 5 rows. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm going to show you this data in this range only. How is it possible? Can you really show all the years in this range? Yes, I can. See this. I create the dashboard here, a grid line, remove the grid lines from here. That's how it is. Okay, and right, so we have the year. Now what I do is, see this now, I go in the developer tab, I click on the insert, I create here a box called scroll bar. I go and use it, I draw it here like this. Right, this is how it is. Now you can see that, guys, this is scrolling. If this scrolls down, I want my data should also keep on changing here. It's like this Excel scroll. When you scroll it, what happens? You go to the new record, right? Same way, this is what we are going to do. Okay, I think you have created this form. Now guys, again, same technique, right click, form control. Every control is supposed to be designed by doing the right click. Simple. And then you have to go to the control. Now obviously this is a scroll bar, so this has a different window, as you can see. In the list box and the combo, you find here the cell link and the source, you know, but here you have a different values, different patterns. So you have a current value, minimum value, maximum value, incremental change, page change, and cell link. Now see what I'm going to do. First of all, I link up this cell with this scroll bar. Let's say I link this with the H1. Remember H1, okay? I click OK. Now you see your scroll bar is on the top right now. The moment I click here, can you see that? See this. Now this is where your now mind will go and start working, right? Because whatever we do actually with these numbers, right? Now if I click here, I click here, the numbers keep on changing. Now this number actually goes to which point? You can quickly also scroll from here, not necessarily you have to click here every time. I can scroll down, you know. Now this is 100 and this is 0. Okay, now 0 I understand, but do you need the 100 when it goes here? Well, let's go and check that. I will not right now talk, but what I am trying to tell you is, when you are on this cell, this data should show you how many rows from here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So we should be able to see 6. Okay, 6 means 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, whatever it is. This data should come by default. Okay, so how are we gonna show that, guys? Use the offset. You need the year, say offset. Okay, now say offset, and now you're starting from A1 and now you want to go where? You want to capture this 1947. So what I will do, I will go here in this cell, just next to this cell, I add 1 to it and I go and drag it. Sorry, add 1 to it. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Getting my point? I'm trying to get the row numbers. I'm trying to get the row numbers, because now what I will do, I will tell my offset function that look, you have to go to the row number 1, look, you have to go to the row number 2, look, you have to go to the row number 3. From where? From here. And you have your data coming. But how this 1 2 coming? This 1 2 is coming from here. So the moment you click here, what happens? Your row number start changing, guys. Now your offset will do what? Your offset will from here. This we will freeze the reference. You will say that you will tell the offset now you have to go to the row number 2. What is the row number 2? So that means this data will be eliminated because there is no row number 1 coming. If these numbers will change, the data will change here and it will look like you're going down. That is a trick. See this offset. You start the reference from A1. Let me freeze this A1. Okay. Now once you freeze this A1, let me keep this not freeze the A. I have to go left to right also. So this has to be B1, C1 and so on. But the dollar part, the row part should freeze. Now I go in the row number 2 and then what is my column? You know the year is on the 1 number column, isn't it? That's how it is. Now if I just go and drag this, I think I should be able to work on it, provided you freeze the row, because for performance calls offered also I need the same row number obviously. So I go and freeze the H4. You go there and you now drag this left to right. I think the value should come, and now AST is not coming. So what's wrong with the AST? And I guess we have a big problem here. So let's go and check that. Let me press F2. So from the B1 you're going 2 rows down. Yes, sorry, my mistake. This is correct. This is the data which we need. And so we have 103, 680, 203. 203 is your there's some problem. Year performance calls offered. Why this is coming 0? You're starting from E, you're going 2 rows down. Okay, very bad. You have to change the column as well, I think, because this is no, the column number should be what? My mistake. Column number should be 0, guys. You're not getting the year. Yes, that's how it is. Okay, so we got it. I go and drag this. I think my function works perfect. No, it doesn't work. Let me undo it. What's wrong with this? So when I go down, yes, I shouldn't have freezed the H4 because this is my row number. It should be 3, 4, 5, 6 going down, isn't it? So I go and paste this here again. I go and copy this. I go and paste this here again. Now you have the data coming here. Now see this. What's gonna happen? Can you see that? Your data is changing, guys. I can scroll the entire data from here, right? Do we understand this concept? Especially your row numbers are changing. So let's say I click here. I click here. Now what happened? If I show you F2, you start from the A1 and you see that you have to go to the row number 3 because this is 3. So what happens? It goes 0, 1, 2, 3. The data is changing, the third row, and we have already said that you have to be on the same column, right? Similarly, when you click here again, this becomes 14. If this becomes 14, obviously your offset will go to the 14th row number on the same column. And same here, it goes now to the row number 15. This goes to the row number 16. From where? From A1. That is the idea. So this is how you can make this thing. Now when I scroll it down, this shows 0, 0, which doesn't look good. The reason is because you are saying that offset you have to go from here to the row number 101. But if you see, you don't have a row number 101. Your data actually stops at this row, which is 71. So if I start working from here, because when you keep this when you scroll this up, you get here 1947 because you're starting from here, keeping a reference. So it goes in the row number 1 here. Now if it goes in the row number 1 here, that means this is the row number 1, isn't it? So how many rows you have, just to calculate where you want to stop? I guess you want to stop at 70 row number. So that means when you scroll it down, this should be 70, this point, because this is where the scroll stops. this should not be greater than 70. So how we will do that? We right click on this, I go to the form control, current value is 100, this is not good, minimum value is 100, that's fine, but the maximum value should be 70. Let's not allow the scroll bar to go after 70. So we can change this. I make this 70. Incremental change, which means when I click here, one time click, how many increments you want. If I go and write here 10 for example, then you know what will happen. With just one click here, your value from 0 will change to 10, and then 20, and then 30. So with just 7 clicks you will have this 0 to 70 covered in just 7 clicks, which we do not need. So keep this as incremental change. That's it. Page change. Page change means that when do you want this value to change, right? So this is okay. Let's keep this as by default. My main purpose is to stop the scroll bar at 70 and to start this from the 0. I click OK. Now when you click OK, you can see that I started getting here data. Can you see that? The moment I click here, guys, this becomes 70. But because this becomes 70, this becomes 71, 72, 73, and eventually offset shows you 0 here, because if I start from A1 and I go to the 71 row, I will have a blank value, because you know this is 70 and this is 71. So ideally your plan should be not to give the maximum value as 70, because you need the 70 here. So if you need the 70 here, you have to reduce this. So if this is 70, this is going to be 69, 68, 67, 66, 65, 64. So that means if I tell my offset to go and stop at the 66, I think that would be better. 66, because then this H1 will stop at 66. If the H1 will stop at 66, these values will start showing 67, 68, 69 and so on, So let's go and see that. Look at this now. Much better, because remember, this is the cell we have linked, right? There's no other cell which we have linked. This is just a formula. This is just adding 1 to it, whatever the value comes here. So if I scroll down, you see it's not going further. Previously it was going and showing the 100. It was displaying the number 100, but now we have stopped it. So if this becomes 66, this obviously becomes 67, 68, 69, 70, but still we have a couple of more rows to be, couple of more rows left. So maybe I can go and instead of going to the scroll bar, I can check that by changing this value, because I want here 70. So I think I can go and reduce this to 63. Fantastic. If this becomes 63, you can do you see that if I change anything here, guys, the scroll bar also changes. All are connected, right? So 63 is the best. I go and make this 63, because if this is going to be 63, my H1 will not go beyond 63, and if my H1 stops at 63, then what will happen after the 63, this all became 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. So my idea is to stop at 70, and that is why I'm doing this, so that I shouldn't be showing here any 0, 0, 0, because after the 70th row we don't have any data. So if you have 71, 72, 73, 74 coming here, then this will look as 0, 0, 0, 0, which is not a good way. Now same way I can go and create a graph as well here. You know how to create the graphs. We have seen that. So I simply go and create the graph here. For example, we want this company's performance, so we can go and insert the graph. So I go and create the graph, or maybe you can go and create the line graph this time. So I go and use the line graph, this one. Now you have the line graph here. Okay, You can decide where you want to put the graphs. Okay, that I leave it to you. So this is my graph. This graph should use what? Obviously this data. Select the data. You remember this is what we are going to give. So many legends would come here. Now I press OK. As I said that day that because this year actually is in 2010, which is not a text, you know, so you have to make this as a text. So maybe you guys can go and create this a text function here, or maybe you can just go and concatenate this with year. So let's say I just go and use the Y. We have done this. I will not repeat that. I just go and drag this. Okay, so we started getting this data. I go and remove this. You must put the title, I mean, just to tell people what is it. Now these legends are coming, guys, but the thing which is not coming is your x-axis. So we can go to the select data, and you remember this is something we can do. So we can edit the axis. Now I go and select this axis. This is now text, and we have our data. Wonderful. You don't need the year here in the legends, in the y-axis, right? So year should be removed. That's all because of the formatting issue, because my chart considered the years as number, and that's why it was confused. Rest I need it, and I definitely need the legend this time, because legends will tell me what sort of thing I'm doing here. So this is where we can go and put the legends. I go and put that on the top. I think that looks much better. This is your graph now. Now why it is looking like this? Obviously because I use the formula +3 +3. But you know, if you just go and create some sort of changes here, let's go and create this. Let's say 99. I go and change some numbers here like this. So I go and create these numbers quickly. I mean, some random numbers I'm trying to generate. So let's do one thing. I go and select this entire data. I go and equals to random numbers I want to generate. Rand between is a function. I want to generate this between 100 and 500. Okay, that's how I do it. And there we go. So we have some random numbers coming. Similarly, call offers. I select the data. I go to the rand between random numbers between, let's say I want to create this between 500 to 1000. Let's say control enter. You have to press control enter. You can see that the graph is actually now started looking like a real graph, right? Obviously. So here also I go and say that random between I write here 300 to 900. Control enter. Control enter. Finally we have all these things, guys. Okay, so let's go and talk about this as well. AST, the line is looking quite straight. So let's say rand between, and I want this 200 to maybe 300. Control enter to populate the numbers. Now you have your graph, but I'm not sure by now you have actually calculated what is going to happen here, because this is just a graph, but you know this graph will start changing automatically. Let me just change the font. Now see this. Let's go and remove the grid lines. Definitely you can go and make it a little bigger, right? That's all up to you. So this is your graph. This is how it looks like. Now see what's going to happen. I click here. Can you see that? Your graph will change every time you click, because your data is changing. If the data is changing, your graph will start showing you the performance accordingly. Let me just keep this 100%, right? So not just the data you are scrolling, but you're also actually changing the graph, and then you can quickly go and check how is the performance. Okay, so this is how you can actually go and make the dynamic charts and dynamic dashboard, right? I have given you the example on the scroll bar. I have given you the example on the combo box, list box, and one more thing, you can see the checkbox and the option buttons. Though there are many videos on my channel also, you can go and pick that under the Excel VBA user forms, you know, that the playlist, you see some more good examples there. So this is your offset. That's how we have used the offset, right? And not only just the dashboard, but the numbers are also coming. Okay, so now I go and talk about the use of, maybe you can use the option buttons as well. So option buttons, let's say, so how we do it, I go to the developer tab. Let me save the file first. Now let's say you want to give the option to the user. So I have here option called this option button. I go and create this option button here, and I want to say that in this option button, you know, I say that I want to sort the data. So I can say that sort ascending order. Okay, and go and create the copy of this, copy and paste it here. So now you want to sort the data according to the ascending or according to the descending. So you have here descending, right? Now same way we have to program this. Let's go and remove the grid lines. This is how your ascending order comes. If you select ascending, the data should ascend. If you select descending, the data should descend. And you can see automatically they are programmed in this way that I can select both of them, right? That's why they are called the option buttons. So again, I can go and quickly create something, you know, to give this a better look. I can go and create this. I can go and frame. I can go and create the frame, and so in the frame I can go and write summary report, let's say, or whatever, right? So how we can use it? Obviously you can go and right click, form controls. Everything works the same way. So you have now this different window because this is the option button. Uncheck, check. If it remains unchecked, then what should happen? I'm going to link this cell with the A1, okay, for the time being, and then right click on this. And so right now I go and use this here. I'm just going to put it here like this. So this is your option buttons created, right? Looks good. Awesome. Now when I click on this, you know, it becomes 1. When I click on this, this becomes 2 because this is a second box, right? So now you have to understand how we can put the logic. If you see the movement, when I select this, this becomes 1. When I select this, this becomes 2, right? So the idea is, if this remains 1, it has to be ascending order. If this goes as 2, so for example, if I click here, this becomes 1. If this goes as 1, then that means user has still selected the ascending order. So my point is very simple. If I click here, this becomes 2. So you have to put the condition that if this is going to be 1 and if this is going to be 2, that means you have a descending option, isn't it? So maybe you can go and put the function here, or maybe I have another way which I'm just, as I speak, I'm thinking that if I just go and instead of creating these two different cell references, you know, why don't I just go and right click on this and I say that you go and link this with the A1 only. Again the same, because this way I think we will have a better clarity, because now if I select this, this becomes 1, and if I select that, this becomes 2, which is quite easy for me, because this simply means that I'm saying that if you're going to be 1, then you have to write here ASC, otherwise DEC, right? This is how it is. So now you have got the DEC and you have got the ascending order, right? So both the things are there. This is how it is. So now how to go further and do this job. Now for example, you have a data which is this is the data, and I go and just pick up these two values from here, and I'm only trying to give you the understanding. There could be many other ways as well, right? I'm only giving you the ideas. I'm not telling you that option buttons are always to sort the data. No, this is just the example. I'm trying to tell you how they get programmed without VBA. So let's say I want the performance and the dashboard. So this is your original data. Somewhere it is laying. Let user don't have the access to it. So this is my data, or maybe I can cut this and I put it here like this. Okay, so now we have to sort the data. So we go and sort the data if I select the ascending order. So now in this case, guys, you have to because if you have to sort the data, you will sort the data basis the entire row, not like performance is getting sorted separate, calls offered getting sorted separate. No, it is not like that. You have to sort the entire row, right? Entire row can't be sorted like this. I mean, using this functionality, you have to decide which parameter do you want. Now let's say this is your overall score, isn't it? So if this is my overall score, I want to actually sort this score wise, and the rest of the rows should automatically pick up. This is basically this is the approach I'm trying to follow here. So now if I have to sort the data in the ascending order, then I go here and I say that if this becomes 1, I'm not using this ASC. This is just for your information. You don't need that, because I know A1, if A1 will be 1, then I have to sort the data in the ascending order. So what I do, if you remember, I can use the small function. So I can go in this table and I can find out the smallest number from here, isn't it? I go and select the entire n column, by the way. Now you need the smallest number. So if you need the smallest number, then you need what? You need the row of A1. I'm making the formula dynamic, right? This is how we will get the smallest number. Now once you have the smallest number, guys, you just go and put this, freeze this, because when I go and drag this, again I say if A1 equals to 1, pick up the smallest number, but that time row of A2 should come, which is going to make this formula as second smallest number. So you go and drag this, right? So you have the data getting sorted here in the ascending order, you can see here, right? Now before you go and ask me that if there is any repetition here, well then this may have some problem, because if I get here 2, 3, 4 numbers having the same value, which is quite possible, then maybe you can think of something else, right? But right now I'm considering that there is all the overall score is unique. Now once you have these numbers, you can go and use the VLOOKUP, right? You can go and use the VLOOKUP. So I go and use the VLOOKUP. This is my overall score and this is how it looks like, and I go and use the match to make it dynamic, if just in case if you want to change the header. So I use this offered in this 0. So match J9, which is my calls offered, I freeze this as J$9, N1 to Q1, I10 is fine, but I have to keep the I frozen, N1, Q9, and then finally I didn't given the exact match. So go and press enter. I should come here. I'm just going to give this color. So this is how your data comes, right? So now again, so if I do the descending order, this is going to be false. Why? Because here if is not able to check what it is supposed to do in case of 2. So obviously I haven't put the false criteria. So I go and inside this I say that if my A1 is going to be 2, then I want the largest number. So you go and use the large function, right? And if it is something else, then finally I say here that then we need or maybe we can do one thing. We can simply say that sort the data in the from the sort the data in the descending order, because if it is not going to be 1, it is definitely going to be 2, right? 0 is not possible, so you can simply use the large. I think that's much better. I guess yeah, so we can work on it. Finally you got the numbers, and I just go and paste this here. You got the data, just show you the data, complete data comes here. Now I go and click on the ascending order. You can see that, guys, the numbers are changing, right? Same way you can go and create the checkboxes. I will not give you the example on the checkboxes now, but let's just go and draw this. So this is my checkbox. Checkbox is also a good option. If you right click on this, you can go to the form control and then you can give it a control cell link. So let's say I link this with the A10. Now what happens when I click here, this becomes true. So this works on the true and the false. So you can write that if this checkbox is selected, that means this cell would be true. So you can put the formula, you can write the formula according to the true and the false, and you can then go ahead and do the things. So this covers your form controls. Okay, we will be talking about the activex controls right now. So basically I can we still have time, we can go and talk about the activex controls also. Activex controls also looks the same, okay, but they just get programmed in a little different way. Go to the insert, I create the same combo box. I will not do the entire thing again, but I'm drawing it here. You can see that this looks a little different. I mean, you know, formatting wise, picture wise, isn't it? You can see this combo box and you can see this combo box, this one. Little different, but that's okay, doesn't really matter. But when it comes to programming this, when I say programming, I mean, you know, the functioning part, we have a huge variation. So I show you how you can do that. Now first of all, if you have to link this, let's say I go and write here company called A, B, C and D. I right click here, I go to the form control. Now you see that you don't have that option here. You remember that you were getting here option in these boxes. When you right click here, go to the form control, you find here an option called control. This control option is not available in my activex controls. Simple. So you cannot use this, but this should not stop you to use this, because this is a little different, but we have that all the properties we can use. I can still show ABCD in this activex control combo button. How? Instead of right clicking, when you click on this, you have to go to the property. When you click on the property, this window comes. This window maybe right now it looks a little difficult to you. I don't think so though, but still you find this same window in the VBA also when you create the VBA user forms. Okay, and by the way, user forms created in the VBA are very powerful. You can't compare these ActiveX or form controls with the VBA, you know, form controls. There's no comparison at all, right guys? So now let's say now in this particular ActiveX control, I also have a color option which is very nice. So I can go and give it a color also like this, you know. So this is the one of the feature. Maybe if you are fond of the colors, so I keep my database always simple, don't really color them so much. So that's how it is. 4 color means the color which will come when you select something. Okay, so for example, you want to show that maybe this white color, let's do that. Now here, that this is okay, I will not talk about these formatting things, but here you have that same property. You can see which cell you want to link and which is your range. So your range is A1 to A4. So this is how you write A1 to A4. You have to write it. You can't go and select that. I don't think so you can do that. See this. So write the range there. Okay. So again, I close this. I first select this. Then I go to the properties. When you go to the properties, go in this option alphabetic, and this is where we write A1 to A4. Linked cell. Which cell you want to link? I want to link this with the B1. Same procedure. Okay, fine. Would you like to create 4 rows, 8 rows, 20 rows? Which means when you click here, you know, when you click on this box, how many rows do you need? So I need 8 rows. So 8 are sufficient. List width, list style. You have a style also. Let's say if you click on this option, you know, I show you. For example, this is my list option. I click here. Now, in order to work on this, now in the form controls, what happens when you customize them, you can immediately start using them. I mean, you can click on them, right? But in the activex, this doesn't work like this. If I have to click here, I cannot, and this will irritate you a lot. You can also do some programming here. You see, this we will do in the VBA. But you will get irritated because this is not working now. What to do? So in the activex control, please listen to this very carefully. When I select this, this is for the designing purpose. I know I can go to the property, but once I'm done with that, by default, if you click somewhere outside and you come back here and click here, this will not allow you. This is still in the edit mode, and this is something which I don't like about the activex controls, but still it's an easy way to handle this. You just make this design mode off, click back here, this is gone. Now you can see it is not selected. Now I can click here and I can see the buttons here. Because of this color combination, this looks little weird, but keep the by default option. Now you can see we created the option buttons, so that's why the option buttons are coming, right? So just a formatting thing doesn't really, I'm not impressed with this. So I have to go back to this. Now I have to go to the design mode. Now how I'm going to do it? I again click back on the design mode. You want to edit, click back on the design mode. It is highlighted now. Go to the property and I quickly go and change this to alphabetic. I go and change this to where is that option? Yeah, this is the option. Let's keep this plain. By default it is always plain, and I really don't like this as well. I mean, I just go and create this black one, and I don't like the back color as well. I want to keep it simple, which is white. Okay, these are all the options. Now look at this. This is how it comes. Now I cannot click here. You know what you need to do, just click back here, design mode gone, and you can see that. Now here when so here if you look at this, the functioning part is quite simple. It's almost the same. Instead of going to the right click, you go to the property of this. When you click here, when you go in the design mode, you click here and then you can go to the property. First you have to click on the design to go in the edit mode, and you have to again click back to get off the design mode. But the interesting part here is when I link the cell with the B1, this B1 gets the same value here, right? So here you don't have to use the choose or the if functions, because here that value directly coming, whatever you choose. Here there in the form controls, it was giving you the index numbers. Rest remains the same. You can use this in the same way like we did it here. You can make the same dashboard with this, but just that some people are more comfortable with this, right? So this is your the controls covered, okay, with the offset also, with the other functions as well. So you can I mean, when you work on the dashboards, you can pretty much decide which control you need and which formula will suit there. And the more you get into it, the more you learn it, and the better you know, then you will be a good dashboard maker. So this is the end for the today's session. So thank you so much, guys. I just go and save this file.